Hello and welcome everyone into the Spring Marathon event, which in Niantic or Scopetic's Infinite Wisdom is the only event that's featured weekly for the month of May, and it doesn't even have any wild spawns for us to chase. However, we have Flittle as a debut and its evolution exclusively in 5km event eggs, alongside of a couple of costumed baby Pokemon. And it seems that 5km eggs are exclusively dropping from Pokestops, which is a good thing considering it's the only feature for the event. But before we get going with that, I want to start with some good news from Germany. Actually, two bits of good news from Germany. First of all, thanks very much to Tackleman for the very lucky invite, I believe on Sunday, which delivered us a 100% IV Nihilego. It sadly wasn't a shiny, but we already have the Schlundo from my fiance, Marta. So, managed to catch it, which is awesome. That's technically my first Hundo Nihilego legit from a raid, so I appreciate the invite. And the following day, we had a lovely remote lucky trade with BMT Brain from the Patreon squad. Swapped a costume Teddy Ursa for a Torkoal shiny. It didn't turn out particularly good for either of us, but lucky shiny Torkoal does look rather nice indeed. So thank you very much for that remote lucky trade. And post Lechonk community day, how have you guys been getting on with raids and things like that? I'm personally saving my remotes now because APAC will kick off very soon this evening with Circuitry raids, and I am so down for that Ultra Beast. We do have the Spring Marathon Deluxe Go Pass. I did get it this morning because I actually got the extra ranks for once. Rank 20 gives you half hatch egg distance for the duration of the event once you unlock it. And if you're going for the costume shinies and things like that in the eggs, definitely worth going for. And it's nice to see the egg pool is incredibly limited. It's just the 4 Pokemon. Got Pikachu, Togepi, and Happiny with their Flower Crowns, and Flittle right in there as a new Pokedex entry. These costume Pokemon haven't been featured for about 2 or 3 years in Pokemon Go, so it's nice to see them return. And we also have some research to chase, which is a saving grace, because if there was no field research to go alongside of this event, it would be cataclysmic. And I guess thankfully there's only 2 quests you need to pay attention for: spin 10 Pokestops or gyms, or explore 2 kilometers, which we have 3 of currently. They'll give you the Flower Crown Baneri, the Cottony, which is really nice to see. Do need a second one of those now, and the Cherry Blossom Eevee. Now, I've got to be honest, actually, I'm really stoked about those 3 things being in field research because they haven't been in the game for 2 or 3 years, much like the baby Pokemon, but also all these costume Pokemon can evolve, which is great, and some of them are actually incredibly usable. Baneri into Lopunny has a mega potential, which is good. The Eevee with the Cherry Blossom can evolve into any variant of its evolution line, and the Flower Crown Cottony can evolve up to Whimsicott. Togepi can obviously go all the way up to Togekiss, and that's actually not a terrible fairy-type raid attacker, which, as we mentioned, you will need to take down Mega Mewtwo X later on in the year. But you may have seen this online, you've probably seen it in the game. The one-off, super exclusive Pikachu Marathon Visor comes in the form of this timed research, which gives you 21,000 XP and 1 Pokemon encounter if you successfully explore 42 kilometers within the week. And it does actually give you a full 7 days, by the way, which is nice, and from when the event gets going, I believe. So that's basically exploring the length of a marathon. For myself and other people who can go out and about during the course of the week, that's not necessarily too much of an issue if we get our skates on. However, those of you who are not so able to maybe go around and just explore willy-nilly and walk around and get footsteps, I have a suspicion there'll be a lot of rocking and shaking and all manner of things to get those footsteps, because 42k, some people don't manage that in a week. So yeah, good luck. Hopefully yours can be shiny, because it can be shiny, and 402 would be nice. There really isn't much else to this event, so let me know your thoughts and feelings in the comments below, of course. Are you chasing for these costume Pokemon? I'd like them, you know, they're cool. D-Max Growlithe is in for this week. I've already got the D-Max shiny of this, I believe, but it would be nice to pick up a decent one. However, I've just done a remote lucky trade with rated K, if it's going to appear, and daily incense is now half an hour. I got to rank 50. I'm going to have to manually do it. Come on, we are swapping shiny costume Satchel Dactyls. Hopefully I can get this to come through properly. And Kevin went to London Go Fest like me, but I also went to New York that year, so we're doing a little geotag swap. Dude, very best of luck. He is Mr. Shundo Man at the end of the day. He's likely to get the good stuff. I probably won't. 2273. It's not bad, actually. It's probably my best one. Although I need to check which one Marky gave me at the Natural History Museum all those weeks ago. 14, 14, 12. Thank you, Kevin. I really appreciate that lucky swap. We'll see what he gets on his end a little bit later in the video. There we go. Forever immortalized as your name. I still haven't explored 2 kilometers apparently. Ooh, Ralts, not a shiny off the daily incense. Just confirming Kevin's side of the trade actually came out, I think, a bit worse than me, so very surprising. But do thank you very much as always for the lucky Satchel swap. This was a 13, 12, 13. But we do finally have 3 event quests, so let's check. 3 costumes available. One is the Cottony. You need 300 CP for that one if you're going for the hundo. We have the Schlundo of that thing, but another one wouldn't go amiss. Check 2 is another Cottony, 280. To be honest, I'd go for the Eevee. The Eevee is the one you need the most of, but of course we get more Cottony. My agenda for this event, I think, is to scope the field research as much as I can do, although research tasks I don't think are shiny boosted, whereas the eggs these days typically are. So how long we got left to go? 1.1k, we can do that. Spin, and we've explored 2k for the Go Pass. No, that's a golden raspberry for earn 10k XP. Ugh. No, I can't. I've maxed out for the day, so rank 16. If you buy the deluxe plus 6 ranks, you can get your extra points for your Go Pass and get half egg distance on day 2 of the event. Let's go through and claim these, shall we? And it does tell you how big your item bag is. Fantastic. Let's get 8 encounters. 1 is a Sprigatito, not a shiny, and of course it doesn't catch. Golden Raz, Ultra Ball. Check 2 is not a shiny Skitty. Kitty? Sprigatito. You know what I mean. Baneri. With the Flower Crown, so good to see this thing back. I think I have a hundo and a nundo of this thing. That was first introduced in 2021, I believe, when I did a 24-hour challenge for it. Not a shiny, not a pink rabbit. Roselia has had a com day a long time ago. Another one, check. No, it's a huge one. And a couple of Flabebe, which is nice. I know it's a com day mon, but the white one is the rarer one, and we get a second one, which is not shiny and 427. Quick shout out to Mr. Jackal on the Patreon squad for joining for the duo of Nihiligo, and 2756 obviously is rubbish. It's the final day today of Nihiligo. It'll be somewhat sad to see it go, but also I'm very glad to see the other Ultra Beasts cycling on in. Nice final strike, dude. Hopefully you got the golden jellyfish, because we certainly didn't, so I'm going to try and catch this quickly, because I have a Spin 10 Pokestop quest to check. Oh, and a first ball. Ugh. Unplugging my phone. It's the second time I've done that in like 3 days, confirming terrible rubbish. But anyway, Spin 10 stops, obviously, I still got to be Cottony. Finally, we've got our first batch of 5k eggs. Have got a star piece down. So, it's a Pichu. Good shiny boost, hopefully on them. There's the Happiny. I don't think I need any of them specifically, but good IV ones wouldn't go amiss. Egg 4 is going to be the Togepi. Can we just get our Flittle Pokedex? Nope, there's a Togepi. Let me know if you get anything good from the eggs this event. There's a shiny Togepi. Very nice indeed. Hopefully. And there's our Pokedex Flittle. Bang. 1 batch and done. So, it's a bit premature to say 1 batch of eggs, and yes, we'll get a few more done, but I'd call that quite good luck. And there's another Flittle. Fantastic. This is terrible as a Togepi, just to confirm. You want 375, I believe, for the 100%er, but the Flittle, 393. Ooh, not bad. 15, 14, 12. So probably 400 CP and up. But we've nearly got enough candy to get it done and dusted anyway. Can't believe we had identical Happiny from a batch. Cool, I'm gonna restock. Boom! It's a Baneri task. Lovely. I thought I'd just quickly demonstrate. Look at this. It's so good to see this thing back. The cherry blossomed crowned Eevee. Yes, I'm golden rousing it. This thing I think was only available for 1 year when it came to the Spring into Spring event. 2021 and 2022, I think it had the regular Flower Crown, much like the Baneri has. Then 2023, it got this cherry blossom thing, which looks beautiful, particularly with the shiny version. If you want to know what it looks like, there you go. That's what it is. And actually, I think you can check out this 24-hour challenge that I did. Can't remember if it was that specific day. One of these two. Go and check out the link up there for a good old throwback. I used to love the Spring into Spring event. It's such a shame that it's gone, and it's been replaced by this thing that we have now, which only focuses on eggs, which you have to pay for incubators for. You have to pay for the Go Pass if you want to get more stuff. It's all very, I say, passive, which is very weird. At least the research tasks seem to be somewhat around, and they'll give you some good stuff, and it looks like they are shiny boosted to a 1 in 128, having checked online. Getting some local raid shiny luck. Lovely. Shiny Nihiligo out here in the sunshine. 2217 is actually going to be a lovely candidate for a lucky trade, potentially for anybody I'm going to see in Chicago and Copenhagen. Or Copenhagen, one of the two. 3 XL candy. We're not running the Prime Mega for this choice, but there you go. It's actually a 3-star, 11, 14, 15. Nice stuff. Do we have any quests? Oh, we've got a Spin 10 for the Cottony. 286. And here we have our second batch of the 5k eggs. So let's see if they'll be as good as the last one. Got 1 Happiny, we've got ourselves a Togepi, lots of E's. There's another Happiny. Give us some sparkles. Happiny again, come on. There's a Pichu, any shinies? There's a Flittle, it will be more candy, which is good. and another Flittle. Hundo wouldn't be a bad thing. There's a Happiny, and I think possibly the final egg is a Togepi. Yeah, there you go. So that's probably more typical of your standard egg luck. No shiny from that batch, but a 96 Flittle now. No Hundo, so that's so far our best Flittle. Flittle, little. Will we get another batch of eggs in there? Oh, but we have done, thanks to me, the weekly challenge with 3 folks from the Patreon from the land down under. I'm desperately trying to get the level ups for the folks over at APAC, which I'm very unlikely to see for at least a year. But there we go. Oh, we have gone remote friends with cats. Fantastic. And there's our tandem mouse that's not Hundo, shiny, or anything whatsoever. Splendid. And coordinate an APAC lucky trade remotely now. Confirming terrible rubbish. What I will say though is that the research tasks may be somewhat about this. It's like a mix mash, probably 60% I'd say event versus real tasks. Let's use a lucky egg. Fantastic, I'll give you a DM. But the Explore 2 task has always been a very long-winded task, and then just to get yourself a costume Flower Crown. Explore 1 you can kind of get away with. I think Explore 2 is extensive, considering that spinning 10 stops will take less time if you're in a city. I would of course like to offer my sincere thanks to every person who's part of the Patreon squad supporting the channel and the content that goes up on it. Appreciate all of you guys and the extra support, because it means doing the travel for the live events is an actual possibility. Going forwards with the content, doing challenges, visiting other places, communities, putting back into the channel, and doing this as a full-time thing. It would not be a continued possibility were it not for all of that extra support. It really does mean a lot. It means we can do so much, which is honestly hugely appreciated. And all of you guys who watch, comment, like, and subscribe and everything with the socials and the channel, appreciate you all very much, because yeah, we wouldn't be here were it not for all of you fantastic peeps. And here we are back at home with a 3rd batch of 5Ks. Finally, even though we are incubating on the supers, 3.3k, yeah, it doesn't always track them super effectively, so let's just see what we get on this one. We'll continue hatching this event, considering it's about the only thing you can do. A Happiny, a Pikachu, a Happiny. I think we were goaded into a false sense of security with that first batch, I've got to be honest. There's a Flittle, lovely stuff, and another Happiny. This is the Pichu, and I think maybe one of the final eggs is a Pichu. We've got one more. It's a Flittle. So that's a 3rd batch, no shinny, and I think they were all, yeah, pretty bad, unfortunately. Got an extra small one, a 98 Happiny. Wow, that's gonna go absolutely nowhere. Yeah, there you go. And thankfully we do have 2 research tasks. Let's check. 1 for the Baneri. Let me know in the comments below, of course, your thoughts and feelings regarding this event, and have you managed to get anything good, and will you try and get anything? 93, could be worse. You gotta be honest, like the tiny costume, I think the last time that was available, the tinies and stuff weren't in the game. So I've got to be honest, the bits that are available in this event that you can do are actually okay. They're quite good. The eggs, definitely good if you want to go for those costumes. The research tasks don't seem to be too bad. I don't necessarily think that Explore 2 is the best quest to do, but it's what they've implemented, unfortunately. So actually, while we get our Pokédex evolved, because why not, we got a 96%er, I do think that there is a glaring hole in this event in the form of the wild spawns. Seriously, I don't understand the creative decision to not put them in. There is this funky psychic ostrich or emu looking thing. Fantastic to have it added to the dex. And I think later down the road, I don't know if it gets it right now, but it has an exclusive move from Gen 9, which should make it a bit better. But as it stands at the moment, this thing obviously is not going to be good for raids. Like, look at the CP of it. In fact, what does this one max out at? 2780. So in PvP, it doesn't learn any particularly decent moves to make it worthwhile at the moment. But obviously, we know that Pokemon GO and the team like to make some changes every season and add some stuff, which is why Blaziken can now learn Aura Sphere, as we discussed in the Mega Mewtwo video yesterday. I think this event would be about 1,000,000 times better if it had wild spawns of the things that are featured in the event, like the costume Pokemon. If you had Cottony, Baneri, Eevee, Chansey with the Flower Crown, if you had Togetic. I've seen Togetic in the wild today, which is doubly insulting because it doesn't even have the crown on it. If these things were in the event, it would be much more of an event worthwhile your time. As it stands, all it is basically do some passive field research tasks, which are spinning some stops and exploring 2 kilometers, while you crack on with that marathon 42-kilometer Pikachu quest, and hatch some 5Ks if it's your bag. Like, I think it's good that the Go Pass has a half-hatch egg distance bonus at rank 20 through it, which I think is honestly, that's a really good bonus to have in the event. But the fact that it's tied to the Go Pass, you know, that's what they seem to be doing these days. I think this event is a huge missed opportunity from the Scoptic team, and I will be trying to feed that back to them, because if it was one of many events featured in a month, it wouldn't be that bad, but it's the fact that it's the only weekly event for the month of May, and that just makes it stick out like a sore thumb even worse. But I will say, if you enjoyed this piece of content, we will be back out for more egg grinding and hopefully some better quest chases later in the week. And of course, you can hit that subscribe button down below and stick around with more videos available on the channel. If you want to have a look at the video we put out yesterday, Mega Mewtwo, not necessarily a deep dive, but a bit more of a counter and review of that Pokemon coming in GoFest, check it out right over here. I'd highly recommend it. And of course, there's something a bit more zesty over in this direction. But I will say, folks, until the next time, do take care.